Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Vikings Cowboys game.
Crack him if you got him.
Son! Shit, that thing's dope, man.
I love it.
You want Sam Williams? Sam Williams? I want a linebacker, but Let's go Cowboys! Let's go Cowboys! Let's go Cowboys! Cowboys CanFan, baby, let's go, son! Crack 'em if you got 'em!
Welcome to Minnesota.
Podcast, we talk about us arriving here, our trip, what we're going to be doing in the next week or so, and we asked...
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son!
Let's go. How about them Cowboys?
Crack 'em if you got 'em! Yeah! Let's go, baby! Please hit him. Somebody punch him, please.
Hey, you want one of these? Coors?
Dude, you got a yellow belly. You knew exactly what
I know, you were looking me up and down. I knew what you wanted. You want a banquet?
Yes.
Crack him if you got him!
Jerry! Pick us up, Jerry! We're not worthy!
Oh, Cowboys CanFan.
Cowboys can.
Like Canadian fan, CanFan.
Oh,
Cowboys CanFan.
love Canada.
Yeah.
I'll look you up.
Awesome, thanks, brother. Take care, man. And look, that's how you get subscribers. And nowadays age, it's a dog eat dog world. It's a dog eat dog world. We got to go on the street to get subscribers now.
I'll be like, there'll be a guy at the grocery store and I'll hear him say something about Facebook. I'm like, oh, you do Facebook? You ever heard of CanFan? At Cowboys CanFan. Have you ever checked us out at Cowboys CanFan on any major platform? Because we're on all of them.
Dude, go to tiktok.com/@CowboysCanFan.
We have a channel, yeah.
What's your channel?
Cowboys CanFan.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm
Cowboys
from Puerto Rico.
CanFan. We're from Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's CanFan on his shirt there.
I'm gonna watch that when I go on.
Yeah, do it. You guys will be on our YouTube.
Can I come all the way from Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico? Hell yeah.
See, that's
Son of a bitch.
Let's go. We're gonna be cracking them if we got them, baby. Let's go. Not often are you gonna have the Vegas Strip shut down like this, so we're gonna take advantage of it. And we're gonna shotgun one for you, son. Crack them if you got them, son. Woo! Crack them if you got them, son.
Yeah, Raleigh, come on.
I've never met a real Eagles fan in real life. I'm from Canada. This is my first.
Welcome to the Cowboys CanFan podcast,
where we've already pre-cracked them when we've had them.
pre-cracked, bringing the music down now, letting the boys who are OOO today. We got Aunt Bess, of course, and boys in the zone,
AKA EJ Savage.
There we go.
I almost said-
EJ, it's been a while, man. How have you been? You haven't been on the show since the draft. Has it been since the draft?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, I'm going to get on Mike's show twice before I've been back on CanFan. Because I'm going to be on Mike's show tomorrow. And I was like, man, when are they going to ask me?
Mike, is this Mike?
We couldn't have that happen.
No, you're talking about Mike Tag, Cowboys.
Oh, fuck
Mike
yeah.
Tag, yep.
That's dope. Yeah.
Yep.
You're like,
so,
he's like hunted you down, and he's like, wait a second, that EJ Wilma Clay Savage was like a dog on the Cowboys CanFan podcast. Let's get him on The Cave.
two bandwagon boys over there with the Canadian jerseys repping. I see you boys.
Alex comes running in wearing it. I'm like, well, I can't let my tag team partner come to the ring without a fucking without me showing up in the same gear. So
Yeah.
I'll strap it up.
You guys look like you're ready. It looks like you guys are ready for training camp. You got the Canadian basketball jerseys on. You got the Cowboys camo bucket hats. Those are bucket hats, right?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna call them
No, I wouldn't know. The bucket hats.
training camp hat. Training camp
They're
hat.
like Desert Storm
Yeah.
fisherman hats.
Those are like the Will McClay scout cap, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're wearing the scout caps, and it's
Oh, yeah.
and inside the tag it says some size fits most. It doesn't even like not one
Fits
size
most.
Fits, some size fits most. But I think
Unless you
you're
got
right.
a big dome piece.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm worried that Anth might not fit his hat at
I have
training
a big
camp.
fat head. I have a big fat head.
But as you mentioned, that training camp gear, like this is what we'll be rocking.
Yeah, except
Oh,
for
yeah.
except for I'll have shorts on because right now I'm nude from the waist down.
Oh,
it's hot. It is hot.
Anyways,
Hey,
that was a lively fucking intro. There.
that was.
So when we say something and try to jinx something, AJ will already be touching wood. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
AJ, hit it, knock on it.
Knock
Wood
on
to
it.
wood right there, man.
Knock on it,
It's like
son.
it's like ding ding ding. It's like a tin
Oh,
man.
that sounds like steel.
And since they're out of office, I can't play my boner soundbite, so I guess it's just gonna have to be.
Come on.
I know.
Just one thing we missed last week, so it's a little bit of a less relevant now, but still, sometime in the last 2 weeks, the Cowboys hit the 10,000th day of them not reaching, I believe, the
NFC Championship game.
Yeah. So
I did see
10,000
that.
days. Holy cow.
10,000 days, man. That is wild. But you know what, Alex Johnson? I'm doxing you, by the way.
Why?
This is. I'm just saying. I just doxed you there by saying your full name.
Oh, okay.
But yes, it's been 10,000. It's been 10,000 days. But I am feeling very good about this squad going into this season. I honestly, this is probably the best I've felt about a Cowboys team at this point of the season since maybe 2014. I would say probably since 2014, and I'm ready for it. I have high hopes for this team, man.
I have two routes we can take our conversation. They're both going to end up at the same place, okay? Do you guys want to just open up right now and talk about Cowboys got $20 million in the bank? I want to talk about that in multiple ways. We can figure that out on the fly. Or do you want to save that and maybe go into some Tuesday mini camp takeaways, discuss some things, and then we can come back and decide what we should do with that $20 million?
Well, since you guys have the training camp outfits on, let's roll with that.
Yeah,
Okay, I
like it.
I like that. So
I like it.
I fuck with that.
So there's 3 different websites, and they all kind of have a different point of view. Blogging the Boys, the Landry Hat, Our Home, and SI, which I think is Sports Illustrated still or something.
Yeah, it's that Sports Illustrated.
I think it is. I just saw SI, and
No,
that's
you're
what
correct.
I wrote with. But these guys do a really good job, and I each of them have a little bit of different notes. So I want to just go through each of those, and we can, just make our fucking comments like we normally do. So this
I
is
like it.
Blogging the Boys. You should see it coming up. Let me get in there. So this is by David Halprin. And it's
Halpy. His friends call him Halpy.
yeah. Hey, help me, helpy. You piece of shit. Get over here. He's always getting noogies too.
Get over here and proofread my article, Halpy.
Look at Mike in that fucking safety helmet.
Oh man, I forgot about these helmets, man. Obviously they're mainstay now, these helmets at this time of the year.
Yeah. I mean, they're all, you will, it's called the totalitarian shuffle or totalitarian toe tip, just that for alliteration. And it's like a slowly, you shuffle the restraints around players, and they're just trying to prevent any injury they can that's not on the football field to preserve the money games, right? And they
Will we ever see these stupid fucking helmets in regular season? Do you think?
there's a chance
Preseason, I bet.
I bet they'll I wouldn't doubt it that we see some sort of thing like this in the O line and D line, at least the O linemen.
For preseason or like
On their helmet. Like, I'm not saying this is the final thing, but I bet you in a few, like, maybe it'll be inside the helmet, but the helmet will be larger for the O linemen because they're battering rams every single fucking play, right? So,
you're saying maybe possibly a bigger
I'm
helmet
saying
that pad
that's-
inside.
Yeah, I'm saying that's where it would probably go for O linemen. But everyone else, I mean, once the players start complaining about it affecting their game, they will back off.
Yeah, they all look like Darth Helmet running around there, fucking looking for the Schwartz and Spaceballs. Holy shit!
Yeah, not a big fan. They look like
He looks like he has R2D2 on his head, man.
Yeah, he
Or
looks like
BB-8.
he looks like a golf ball ready to be teed off on. I don't like it.
Micah D2. Okay, so what is Helpy saying here?
Well, first thing to note here. Well, he went out there and he's doing what I'm doing.
He's doxing
so
you?
I'm kind of, it's very meta. He's doing what I'm doing. He went out there and collected articles, and now I'm collecting his article in a group of articles.
That's what we do here on the Cowboys CanFan podcast.
That's how you get the most bang for your buck. So
we break the wall.
Kicker woes, Tristan Vizcaino did what he could today to quiet the scuttle by going 8 for 8 field goals, 33, 35, 38, 40, 43, 65, 47, and 55 yards. Ooh, he's just
some big ones
all over.
Some big ones too. 65. I like he.
And they say range hasn't been the question, but he's proven that the question remains if he can stay consistent. And he did just that on Tuesday. So that's kind of the summary there for the kicker.
Well, I'm going to ask EJ this. EJ, are you comfortable going in with this dude as our place kicker? Are you comfortable at all with that?
Nah, I'm anticipating us to sign a better kicker later down the road. If this is a guy that we give a chance from a different league, XFL, something like that, or if it's a veteran guy that we bring in, either option's better than Tristan, in my opinion. But we'll see. You know, I think that Jerry Jones was even joking about with some boxer that, hey, we might have a place on the team as a kicker for you. So I think that it's written on the walls that we are going to bring in another kicker. It's just when and who.
Hey, I agree. There's a lot of guys out there currently, and I don't feel comfortable with this dude. Tristan, I'm sorry, you went 8 for 8, but not comfortable in the way the kicking game has affected the Cowboys team in the last 3 or 4 years so much that I just can't go with an unknown.
Crack him if you got him, AJ.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Good for him. Like, get this on your resume. And, but the reality is there's just too many good free agent kickers out there that they'd roll into the season with this guy. Like, even if we get the last of that tier of quick kicker that you're kind of the handful there that's left, I'd still take that, of course. But you never know. This guy might just fucking wow us in preseason if he makes it that far, and then shit. Not banking on it.
Ultra Cowboys giving a hot take saying that he believes the Cowboys are going to sign Gould or Crosby before training camp.
Gould.
Gould. Robbie Gould.
Robbie
you know,
Gould.
I might truthfully prefer Mason Crosby over those two. Do you guys have any opinions on either of those guys?
I had him on fantasy football, and he didn't disappoint me. So
I don't know the intricacies of the kickers, but for me, and maybe you could rank them in an order, but I think the tier is Gould, Crosby, and then who's the other guy? Is Suckup? There might be another.
Oh, yeah, Suckup. Yeah.
There might be one more. I can't remember. But anyways, between those three guys, I mean, I hear Gould a lot, and it would be really awesome to have him kick a winning field goal to put us to get that monkey 49ers off our backs and
Ooh, I like that.
You know,
I like that. That would be
steal their kicker and then
that would be
then beat 'em.
hilarious. Oh my god,
that's a good story.
That's the
That
only
is.
reason I only want Gold now. I only want Gold now. Let's get him. Although same thing with Crosby. I'd like to take Crosby and beat even the Packers. Granted, the Packers don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. It would still feel sweet with either of those guys beating either of those teams in any type of big game by a kick. Yeah, I like that. Good backstory.
Yeah. The removal of Tony Pollard from minicamp as he recovers from a leg injury suffered in the final game of the season has created a window of opportunity for just about any ball carrier on the roster with the first team. Rico Dowdle, Malik Davis, Ronald Jones were featured most, and while Deuce Vaughn was mainly featured with the second team, he did get some first team reps out there in the backfield and lined up on wideout as well.
Yeah. You know, I think that Deuce Vaughn, he's going to have a similar role to a Lance Dunbar in the past, kind of that pass catcher on third downs if it's third and distance, and he can do some things in the passing game. I do not expect him to get a lot of carries, but as far as what this article is talking about, the running back room is really wide open. after Tony Pollard. So it's going to be a training camp battle.
Yeah, and we don't even know if the running back room's settled yet, right? I don't know if I'm gonna audible a little bit off of AJ's plan here, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this because I've seen what we're talking about in this podcast. But Dalvin Cook's out there. There's still some guys that might be camp cuts that fit with the team better than a guy that is currently on the roster. So not only is the running back room wide open, but I still think there's maybe a player or two out there that the Cowboys might bring in who could be the second running back on the team.
Yep.
Well, interestingly enough, because we will go ahead, right, and have a discussion. It's appropriate for Dalvin Cook, but there was kind of some because we love what we saw out of Davis last year, and then there was a lot of questions why he didn't come and play on the 49ers. And definitely
when TP20 went down.
Yeah.
So TP20 went down. Obviously, everyone knows in the divisional round, and after that, all they did was stuck with Zeke, who wasn't producing in that game. And we've been pretty big Malik Davis fans, right? So we were screaming, "Come on, let's get some carries for some other guys." And then, there was some big news that we saw Deffy Talks Cowboys post, which was Brian Broaddus, who covers the Cowboys, dropping some crazy news.
And I think Broaddus was actually, I think this was on Law's cast.
This was,
Cast that they were doing
I believe so. I was watching a little of it. Didn't hear this, but then when you shared it, so this is what originally was kind of said about why Davis didn't get that chance in the game, and I'm going to summarize it. They said that he was asking questions like, am I going to get a chance, and why work hard if I'm not going to get that opportunity? And of course, on a team that's like, come on, man, that's a huge no-no. And the coaching staff wanted to work with what they have and let him just not get any touches or get that single touch. So my thoughts, though, when you shared this, and there has been an update.
I
wanted to share it for the show. Was, okay, if this is true, so the Cowboys, this must have been leading up to the game where we were saying this. I can't imagine he's saying it on the sideline of the game, okay?
Right.
So this happened, like, with time to prep. So if he's having this and you're saying we're not going to play this guy because of that, well, do you shoot yourself in the foot when you need him? Or is it kind of like, fuck it, let's get what we need out of him and cut him next year? He's still on the team. So when I read this, I was like, it doesn't add up that they would have cut him.
They would have already cut him this offseason.
They would have cut him probably after that game if they were like, we're not going to play you because this is your attitude. Well, what are you going to wait a week and see if he comes out of his room and has a different like? I'm just saying things move quickly and it didn't add up for me. But
yeah, I thought the same thing. When Malik Davis is a guy that grinded to get to the position that he's been at, he's probably put in a lot of work to get to the spot that he's in right now, right? Undrafted free agent guy, came to a team that was pretty much set at their running back position. Every time the guy touched the ball, he was successful. I found it kind of weird that he would now be saying, oh yeah, why put the work in if I'm never going to get a chance? That in the NFL, man, these guys aren't like that. Most of the guys like that come from undrafted free agents to make America's team, it just doesn't seem in their personality. So when the update came out, it made a little bit more sense. I thought the same thing as you, Alex. I was like, I don't know. Doesn't seem like he would have been saying that.
I mean, believable. Sorry, EJ. Believable, but I was like, I don't know. It rubbed me wrong.
And so then we have Malik Davis. Whether this was on Twitter, are you just gonna save it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead and say what you're going to say, EJ, and that fucking gorgeous beard of yours.
I know, it's lovely.
Well, I was just going to say is like, if Malik Davis was feeling some type of way, he should have known. I mean, that's how the Cowboys coaching staff acts in the first place. I mean, it took how many years just to get Tony Pollard on the field? I mean, they wasted the majority of his career not getting him on the field because they thought that, oh, Zeke's going to get back. Zeke's going to do this. Zeke's going to do that because he was the 4th pick in the draft, 2016. You've wasted so much potential with a guy that you drafted in the 4th round with Tony Pollard. They don't care about an undrafted free agent. Like, they're not going to put you on the field just because you're doing some stuff in practice, you know? But as far as cutting him, if that's was an option, I mean, I think after the season ends, you technically can have as many players as you want on your roster until that final cuts. And then another point is we fired our running back coach, Skip Pete, and now we have a different guy, Jeff Blasco. So who knows? All of those points are valid from you guys as well. But I don't know if Brian Broaddus has heard something. I mean, he's in the building, but truthfully, nobody will know until it comes out if Malik actually says it.
Well, Malik came out as one way, one yay on Twitter, and he says, like, ain't
That's not.
Oh,
that's not Malik.
Who's Malik? Who is it then?
He's saying leak. Ain't say nothing like that.
Oh, leaks. Okay, so who is one way, one yay?
I searched him up here earlier, but
I saw the Blit verified, and I was like, oh, okay, this must be Malik.
No, like
Malik's.
this doesn't
This isn't
quash
confirm
the
anything.
opinion. I'm just saying, Defi put out that post from. I mean, we are getting really what's
Conspiracy-
that movie?
conspiracy
No,
theory?
Inception. This is
Inception.
an Inception right now. Wherever it came from, he was just clarifying, and so I wanted to just bring that up here as well. There's still a mystery if it's true or not. And you make that's a good point. It's like he still might be, for example, now he could still be on that cut list unless he proves X, Y, and Z, because there'd be no benefit to cutting out if he had the skills that they wanted still, during the season, there's a difference there perhaps, because that guy's taking up fucking cap space. But yeah.
Hey, AJ, go ahead and search up how big Malik Davis is compared to like a Ronald Jones.
Foot
Because
size, hand size, what are we looking at?
Wiener size.
just height and weight and
General
stuff like
girth.
that. Yeah,
Okay,
general
square
girth,
kilometers of Malik Davis.
How big is the Earth?
No, Malik Davis.
Malik Davis, I'm pretty sure he's
I mean,
he's
let's
like
just-
he's like 5'9", 205 or something like that. We have looked at him.
Are we
That's
gonna-
my guess.
are we
Smaller
gonna-
guy.
That's my guess.
Are we gonna call him Malik anymore? I feel like we have to now call him Leak.
Leak. I like lick or lick.
I
Lick.
like Leak, but then Alex is gonna call him Lick the whole time. So
Do we know
Alec.
it's Malik?
it's Malik.
it's
yes, his
definitely
name's
Malik.
Malik. You're the only person on the face of the fucking earth that calls him Malik. So if you're gonna be the only person that calls him Lick, I think that's just as
Malik. Hey man, I'm phonetic. He's 5'11" on ESPN, 5'11", 202.
funny. Yeah, so
And
I'd say
then
5'10".
search up Rojo.
Yeah,
Because I
5'10".
don't think that they're going to want to carry two smaller
Well-
running backs than Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis if they have that
Right.
potential to have a bigger guy. You know what I mean?
Well, when they dropped earlier this week, and when I feel like we'll get into it, but when they talked about, they're not done making moves yet. Even with people that they have in positions, they're not done possibly making trades or making adjustment changes. To me, that could be like, okay, are they going to get rid of Rojo and bring in Dalvin Cook? Like that's where my brain goes automatically. But that's also because I jump right on the rumor mill right away.
Yeah.
Ad's
Yeah.
like, yep, the Cowboys, they're getting him.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered
Consider him done.
my Cook Cowboys jersey.
What number would he be? Because he was 4 in Minnesota, wasn't he?
Oh, what number would he be?
Oh,
What else?
Guess
What I will
40,
say? Well,
44?
I'm not a number
44?
purist, anyways.
can he
what
be
I'll
44?
say? What I'll say about this? Someone had posted on the Cowboys CanFan Instagram. They were saying Rico Dowdle is more so like a guy that would replace Zeke's production, opposed to any of the other guys. Like EJ saying, you have Ronald Jones, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's actually bigger than probably Ronald Jones and
Yeah.
Malik Davis, right? Like those two dudes, you're right. You're not going to keep both of them because they both sort of fill the same role.
Well, remember preseason last year. I don't know how many he might have not had. He might have had 8 fucking carries for all I know. Rico Dowdle, but we liked both of them. Him and Davis, Dowdle and Davis. We were like, oh, they were both running the ball well, and then I think Dowdle got injured.
Yep. Got injured.
And then we went full fucking Davis after that. So who knows? Dowdle could come back and continue where he left off.
Yeah, I
in
think
that
that
spot.
one of the things is we
But
got
he
that
is-
new running back coach. So who really knows who this coach is tied to? This is a completely clean slate as far as, I mean, Tony Pollard obviously is going to be on the team, but after that, it really is a clean slate on who will make the team because this is a new guy in here. He doesn't have his favorites. He doesn't have that chemistry with them in the room yet. So only time will tell really for this running back group.
So
Rojo, 5'11", 225 pounds.
that's the back I like.
That's actually not. I thought he was smaller than that. He definitely
And
looks smaller than
Rojo's
225.
relatively young still too, because he came out really early from college.
2-time Super Bowl winner.
He's still in his ability to play NFL football.
Ultra saying Cowboys not investing more money in the running back position. They will roll with their Pro Bowl RB and 2 young guys.
Probably right.
But I mean, Ultra's been on a little bit of being wrong on everything he says.
You know, Ultra, I'll tell you one thing is last year the Cowboys, or no, not last year, this current year, right now with what the money they still owe Zeke and paying Tony Pollard on the franchise tag, they are, I think, 19th ranked in the league amongst wide receivers. So teams that pay their wide receivers, the Cowboys, if you were just taking Tony Pollard and Zeke's contracts and put them in with the groups of wide receivers, we would be 19th in the league or something like that on running backs. So he has a good point. You know, we are spending a lot of money on running backs right now.
But if you can get a good deal, I mean, right now running backs are so fucking cheap that if you can still upgrade to a for sure talent, I mean, Dalvin Cook will obviously cost more money than we probably want to spend on a running back. Yeah. But if you can get a camp cut casualty, a CCC is what we call them around here. If you can get a camp triple C, if you can get a triple C for like $3 million a year, why not? Or I mean, there's still the talks that Zeke even comes back possibly for, if you could get Zeke for $2 or $3 million. Why wouldn't you just get him on the team? To be honest.
Okay. We got it. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to give Ultras. So I was just going to say, Sean Dubbed saying we need more O-line depth. I don't trust none of the backups. I was just going to say, take some of that money, invest in some backups, because I know Anth was stressing while we were rating all of our positional players. Ultra Cowboy claps back and says, not wrong. You guys have been wrong believing in playoff. You guys have been wrong in playoff tag.
Yeah, but we wear it.
That's
we
awesome.
wear when we're wrong. Like, yes, I'm wrong lots. All the time.
You know, who brought up the O-line depth question?
Sean Dubbed.
Sean. So here's a question for you guys. So let's say that the options are Zeke, Brandon Cooks gets dropped, but you have to pay him minimum $5 million, or Dalton Reisner, which is a guard. Which 3 of those options would you pick up? And actually, I'll add in another one.
Brandon or Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin Cook. Did I say something else?
Yeah, you said Brandon.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So that
Dalvin
makes
Cook.
more sense.
So Dalvin Cook, Zeke, Dalton Reisner, and then I'll add in another one just for giggles. Marcus Peters, the corner.
I'm going guard, to be honest, man.
Dalton Reisner.
I'm going with Reisner just because there's been some pretty good talks about that Eric Scott Jr. coming out of camp. Maybe I know it's mini camp and OTAs. It's like, how much can you actually put into it? But I do think our guard position is still up in the air, like so much, man, that we didn't address it enough in the draft. And if there's a guard for some money at the same price that a cornerback or a running back would be, I would rather grab the guard.
This is something I want to ask us before we keep looking here at the highlights of the Cowboys training camp. So I'm going to read off the names that are in contention, and then I need you to give me your backfield 4, your best 4. Okay.
Okay, EJ, he's speaking to you. You're going first here.
Yeah, you go first. Yep. And I'm going to read off the ones that are on the team, and there's going to be some that are off the team, and you just tell us how you think it could work and how we'd get them. Doesn't matter. Yep. Make it up. We're having fun. So, of course, we got TP20, then Davis, Dowdle, Rojo, and Deuce. And I also will add with an asterisk, if you want to play with them, Hunter,
Lepke, Lupus.
Then there, of course, is who's not on the team, but, you know, make it interesting how they get on the team. Dalvin Cook, potentially, just because Cowboys are involved in every single fucking trade. And then re-signing Zeke for whatever it would be, and he comes in and plays a part.
So for me,
and if there's someone I missed, sorry, we can add them, but I think that is the list so far.
Yeah, for me, I'd save my money on the Dalvin Cook thing. He's injury prone a little bit, so Not that he's not a good player. I just think that you have some big contracts in the future. You can roll over cap into the next year. So I'd pass on Dalvin Cook. I would say TP, obviously, he's going to be on the team. After that, I go with Rojo, then Deuce Vaughn. Those are my 3 running backs. The other guys can go practice squad. Hunter Lipke, I think personally, is going to be a fullback / tight end hybrid. He's going to take Sean McKeon's spot. I said that on the video I dropped last night. And then as far as those other guys, like I said, they'll just fill into the practice squad or be on a different team.
I like it.
I like it too, and I'm liking the idea of me wearing a Lepke jersey. I said it a couple podcasts. I'm a Jersey guy, so I'm just trying to figure out who I'm going to dabble with this year.
I do think
you wearing Deuce Vaughn, me wearing Lepke, it'll be a great match.
Lepke replacing McKeon, although I mean, you know, breaking up. I mean, it's season 2 of Clone Zone. You shuffle around some characters, and McKeon might have to get cut to bring in Hunter, the new hot stud.
Yeah, Schooner is a sailboat is going to come in and say, "Fuck the Clone Zone, we're making the hybrid zone," and he's going to say, "McKeon, you're out, and I'm bringing in Lepke."
I like.
They'll be like,
one thing about Sean McKeon, though, a lot of people don't realize is Sean McKeon was out of Michigan as well. The reason why he was on the team was specifically for his blocking because of the system that they run there at Michigan. You got Luke Schoonmaker now, so he's kind of a redundancy at this point. Plus, Luke gives you a lot more in the passing game, more athletic profile. So, I like McKeon. I think I've had his mom like one of my tweets before, so he's a cool dude. But I wouldn't say that, but but either way, practice squad. Put him on the practice squad. I'm willing to keep him.
Pencil him in.
Pencil him in on the P squad.
I like your list there also.
Yeah.
Rojo has showed some stuff in the NFL. He's had some pretty good seasons. He had a couple issues with fumbling with the Bucks. I mean, last year with the Chiefs, he didn't really get a chance because they had a bunch of young guys that were just doing so well that they didn't want to get them out of the rhythm. But maybe he finds a second wind and a second chance or a third chance even with the Cowboys and can just be that guy enough that we're not missing Zeke at all. My biggest worry is losing the blocking aspect of Zeke's game. Zeke wasn't breaking anything bigger than 10-yard run last year. Let's be honest. He just wasn't. It wasn't happening. If we can get explosiveness outside with our second and third running backs, I think that's a huge win.
And look, Zeke, we knew when he was getting hit at the 2.5-yard line, it was going to be a 3.5-yard carry. You know, and that's what came out of Zeke. What you just said, Anth, about Rojo, up until the Cleveland part, you could have, that was describing Zeke. He had fumble issues and he dealt with them. The only difference is Zeke was playing the main role, and Rojo would have to come in and just clean up where he needs to. I do like that combo. I mean, maybe I'll get hate for it, but fuck it. I'm going to say it, guys. I think it might just be as strong as the combo last year.
Could be, possibly.
You know, and I'm not taking anything away from the games that Zeke performed, but and it happened 2 years in a row, once he got whatever injury it was, but he still played, his game dropped significantly, noticeably. Everyone saw it. But, you know, they just kept pushing the fucking button because that's what you do when you're crazy.
Well, there was 22 touchdowns from Zeke in 2021 and 2022 combined. They need to be able to replicate those touchdowns. I don't give a fuck if it's with Deuce Vaughn and Rojo. They just have to do it. You have to be able to score from the 2-yard line, the 3-yard line at a consistency that Zeke did. And if we can find that player, was it Zeke or was it our O-line? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I think that we're going to bring back? And we're going to try to mold Michael Gallup into the old Dez role with the fades in the end zone and stuff like that. Because one thing that Michael Gallup does well is box out corners, and he has the body control to get his feet in bounds and make a play, make a touchdown. So, and especially with Dalton Schultz out of the picture now, you're talking about the Cowboys who love to throw on that first down inside of the red zone. And they like to get those little quick tight end rollouts to a touchdown pass. Without him, it's unknown as far as tight ends go. So be on the lookout for Gallup to be utilized a lot more down in the red zone.
Yeah, and rumor has it that Dalton Schultz still has his Dallas Cowboys Google alerts being sent to his email.
Oh, 100% he does.
He's
You
still
know
on
he
full
does.
Twitter block mode. 100%.
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him, son. Get it in you, kid.
All right, well, here's the next point, guys, and I think this one is another interesting conversation. I think we kind of hit on it, but O-line, it's not sexy, but it's something that the Dallas Cowboys have been proud of, and they should be. But here's what happened. If you're wondering what the Cowboys front five will look like in 2023, well, after experimenting in OTAs, they started minicamp with Tyron's. Don't. With T. Smith at left tackle and Tyler Smith taking left guard duties. And Matt Waletzko playing the role of right tackle 1 in the absence of a recovering Terrence Steele. Wow.
Interesting. What do you guys think? EJ, what do you think about Waletzko going into the season with Waletzko as a right tackle?
Kind of
scary.
Outside of Alex saying his name perfectly, but not.
I know
he
struggles with Tyron Smith and then just kills Waletzko.
Yeah, because
awesome.
that's fucking East Block. I know East Block.
Yeah. So another thing with the O-line is we don't really know what to expect. Another new offensive line coach this year. So, and this dude's old school from what I've heard. So he might just want the big dudes in there. And I think Waletzko is one of those bigger guys. We'll see. I do think that if Terrence Steele can get back and be ready for week 1, he will be the starter at right tackle. But truthfully, if this was my team and what I would do, if Steele isn't ready week 1, I would slide Tyron Smith over there at right tackle again, Tyler at left tackle, Chuma Adoga or Matt Waletzko in there at left guard instead.
I would be more comfortable with that, to be honest.
Yep.
Well, look, the problem was last year, Waletzko actually had some praise. I remember that. He's a big boy. He's got a big body. He got injured, though. And here's the problem is with a big body person, and I'm a small body person, so I could be a completely biased. Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him, son.
Those injuries, like you just got to think, I'm 5'8". I was born the same year as LeBron James. He's 6'8". So he, like his effort.
Crack him if you got him.
His effort to reach down and tie his shoe is using so much more force than mine, just on a day-to-day level, and that's a simple fucking thing to do. So like this big guy, I think he's like 6'7", 6'8", or something like that. He's a massive body with a huge wingspan. He's got a lot of torque on all of his joints that are more so than anyone else. So that body size just might be, and we've talked about that before, it just might be outside of the bell curve of like what is optimum for a human. So I don't know. I think he might have the skill, but if the problem is if you can't keep up, then so what? We're back at square one now and trying to fill the same hole. So I'm not excited about it, but if he can come in and play, I don't know, 15, 20% of snaps on the O-line and does it well and fills in and gives other guys breaks, that's the role I will want out of Waletzko.
You would rather him be a swing tackle than your starting right tackle, basically.
Yeah, and maybe if he does well enough in guard too, he can be thrown in there for a little bit, whatever, on certain plays that it makes sense. But I don't feel comfortable with him out at right tackle 1 unless it's like we're basically going to play him and he's going to get injured. That's just my thought on his body size. Is it's going to wear down in 3 weeks and something's going to blow.
Ultra Cowboy saying, well, Let's Go as an athlete was recruited as a tight end.
I don't disagree. I don't think it's wrong. But look, I'm nearly a 38. I'm nearly a 39-year-old man, and I get fucking aches and pains, and I'm not doing shit all day.
No, I mean,
these guys are playing football.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I even when I do some like really a couple hours of physical activity, that it's like a 4-day recovery for me.
I'm not comparing. I just mean like every.
No, we're definitely comparing us to professional athletes for sure. We are.
It's every year is another year of getting closer to the point where the body just will break down. The mind can't make the body do what it's supposed to do.
Yet. I mean,
Get up, you idiot!
You
Get
know-
up!
Apple brings out those vision goggles. We got AI that's able to build whatever you want. I feel like we're one pill away from having that recovery thing coming for those old dudes, you know?
Yep.
I cut EJ off. I thought EJ was going to say something, so I was trying to finish my
No,
little
no,
bit
you're
there.
good. I was just gonna say, I'm wondering how Awesome Richards is doing.
Yeah, haven't
Our
heard
fifth
anything.
round draft pick, because he started the majority. I think he started like 36 out of the 37 games in college at left tackle. I don't see him having the body type to kick inside right now, so I'm wondering, are they trying to play him at tackle? Is he going to be the swing tackle? What's their plan for him now? Unless they're just trying to bulk him up and use him as a draft and stash player. So interested to see if there's any camp battle between him and Willetsko.
Right.
That's what I want. I kind of want this someone that we're not talking about really, or most people aren't talking about, to have an amazing camp, have an amazing preseason, and then by week one we're like, oh man, we didn't even see this coming, right? I'm hoping that's kind of and it might be a high hopes, but I hope that's kind of the fix for the offensive line. We don't know at this point who the starting 5 offensive linemen are going to be going into week one. It's going to take training camp. It's going to take the 3 preseason games until they actually know who's going in. And that's the fun part about training camp.
Oh yeah.
And the at the end of the day, if he is a stash and play player at a 5th round, I think
that's fine.
I'm totally happy with that. If he even comes in and plays on the field, that's a huge fucking check mark. So yeah, but yeah, it's been fucking crickets about Awesome Richards, and as far as like my minor, I don't know, scope of the Cowboys news, I haven't heard a peep.
Could be bad, could be good.
Could be
no
bad,
news
could
is
be
good
good.
news. Sometimes
Maybe it's just inside. I'm just hitting Jerry. I'm hitting Jerry's salt machine.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I liked that 4th preseason game, because you got that just that extra one game to kind of see those later draft picks and really keep your eye on those guys. Interested to see what he has. So
the thing about that is a huge hit. So the players pay didn't necessarily. It's increasing along with the cap space, basically, right? Like how much cap they increase. But they didn't get. Well, maybe the NFL has to kick something out, but they didn't necessarily everyone get an increase in their dollar value for the extra game. So they lose money there. Then also the players who are trying to get on a team lose an opportunity to get to play. And on top of it, now you are just having your job is longer now.
Well, you better make it rain out when you get your chances.
Well,
as this 5th round pick, the 6th round pick, the 7th round pick. Man, you got 3 preseason games. Fucking make it happen if you want to make an NFL. Yeah, show out if you want to make this team.
Yep.
Ultra says Cowboys hit on Willetsko. That will give them cap flexibility by not having to sign Steele. And then Dwayne Brown
still very debatable.
Yeah.
Still very stupid. Ultra, you say some crazy shit, but Terrence Steele was on his way to a Pro Bowl, maybe even an All-Pro season last year before his injury. And then we're gonna have this guy that we've never even seen in the offense.
I think he's saying if they he's just saying. I don't think he's saying they hit on him. I think he's saying if they actually
No, he
hit on
definitely
Willetsko.
said Cowboys hit on Willetsko. He didn't say if. He said they hit on him. So I'm gonna call him out for that. He's unproven. It's like people saying Deuce Vaughn's the second coming of Darren Sproles, or it's like saying any draft pick right now, or any guy that's never played in the NFL is a surefire position taker from a guy that's done it in the NFL.
So one Deuce Vaughn is the next Darren Sproles, whatever, right?
He literally is, bro. He trained him, bro. Come on, now, bro. No,
Seems
but
cool.
what I was gonna say is, I believe, and go ahead and check me on this if it's not true, but I believe that Terrence Steele is a restricted free agent, so he's actually going to be cheaper to sign than a guy that's unrestricted. which means that you can sign him for less money to keep him because you were the guy that kind of groomed him and developed him and found him out of the undrafted free agents. So
Hey, be careful. We took heat one time for saying groomed in an episode.
Oh, yeah.
Did we?
Someone messaged us for saying grooming.
No,
Stop using grooming. Stop saying grooming in a good way. It's like, get the fuck out of
It's
here.
like, fuck
What?
off.
Hey, sometimes grooming is good.
Yeah, like I
But
grew
in
my
sports?
dog.
they must have been
Sports?
Canadian.
Yeah.
No, it was an American. They messed up on a lot of their words. I'm just kidding.
I hate to bust the bubble, but he's a UFA in 2024.
Unrestricted free
Oh,
agent?
he is unrestricted.
He is.
Now this is
Okay.
on Spot Track, which is the weirdest fucking name for a sports website.
And it just crashed. It just crashed your entire computer.
No, they're
Okay.
Okay, so Ultra said, yeah, he's restricted this year, next year on the UDA.
okay.
okay. I'm
So-
gonna trust the boys, not fucking a website that can't even
Hey.
spell sport correctly.
Just because, I just want to go back because Ant's not reading Ultra's comments. They are talking the same way about Willetsko as they were talking about Steele in 2021. You hit on Willetsko, you get a starter and an extra third round comp pick for Steele.
If
And then he goes,
If
and then I don't know where this came from.
we're
'Cause-
throwing
'cause-
ifs,
'cause
we're
guess what?
throwing ifs around.
And guess what? We weren't a podcast in 2020. So you guys were bashing Steele in 2020, and you are saying he is a Pro Bowler now.
Yeah.
He has not made the Pro Bowl.
Hey,
he was.
Ultra.
He was.
Things,
I said he was having a Pro Bowl season.
He did. And guess what, Ultra? Things change. What happened in 2020 with Steele, if we were bashing him,
Stays in 2020, right,
Yeah.
AJ?
no, well, it happens. I'm saying, like, if a player progresses to a really good player in 2 years, I'm not going to go back and say, yeah, they played good in 2020. Like, they didn't. And now they are. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you, man. Like, things change.
People change.
Well,
Things change, Ultra. People change.
I want to hear your guys' opinion.
You haven't
Did
seen
you
Varsity
think
Blues,
that Steele was a top 25 tackle last year?
Yeah,
Right tackle.
I do.
Top 20.
25. That,
Top 20.
I don't
Would you
know.
say top 20 or no?
They look at the offensive drop off once he got injured. That's all I'll say.
So for
That's
me,
fair.
I would say he's like top 17-ish.
Yeah, I would say
Ooh,
that's fair.
You don't let as a right tackle, not tackles overall.
Okay. That changes things. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying if you have that guy, if you have two great tackles, you're not just going to let that guy walk, especially with a guy like Steele that you have developed. Instead of saying the other word,
Groomed,
and-
okay.
No, we
say it.
groomed the shit out of him.
groomed
We
the
groomed
shit out of
the shit
Steele.
out of him.
Crack it for Steele there.
but you
Ants.
know,
Crack
I
for
just feel
grooming
like he's
Steele.
one of those guys that have been with the team, likes the area, likes what he's from Texas Tech, so he knows this area, he knows the team. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I feel like he would be willing to stay for a lesser contract because he knows what it's like. He knows the culture and he's worked his way up there. Though he's built relationships with the guys that have, invested their time in the weight room with him and working on his technique, working on his pass sets, working on his run sets, all those things, that plays a factor in it. So yes, Willetsko might be on his way to that, but you can never have enough offensive linemen in this league. There's not enough already to go around. So why get rid of a good one?
You don't want to be the next Lael Collins, leave for a bigger contract, and then
Mhm.
possibly be Lael Collins might be a camp cut for the Cincinnati Bengals this year.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So, and
Yeah.
but
Which
you
is
don't want to
sad.
be that guy. It is
Which is
sad,
sad.
man. Yeah, I was pissed actually. I'll say this: Ultra went back to 2020 last off season. I was mad when they went the route of Terrence Steele over not re-signing Lael Collins. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Ultra,
I didn't like Terrence Steele. At
Okay,
the
so-
time, but he
and
played great last year.
and Ultra says, I agree, but when you draft so well, some players are more expendable than others.
Oh,
True.
no, there's
He's not
You
wrong.
know what, Ultra?
Yes.
I would rather lose Tony Pollard next year than Terrence Steele.
Ooh,
And you
that's
can
Wow.
bookmark me on that.
I like that. I
ooh,
like that. That's a
getting
take.
that's getting clipped.
Clip it.
That's getting clipped.
That's
Go
a
ahead.
clip. That's a clip.
I mean, that's
AJ's timestamp.
Yeah,
AJ's
no,
timestamp.
Look at AJ. Okay, all right, AJ wrote something on this. Oh, you can't see it because of the thing. AJ wrote something on this thing for me to say, and I was looking at it. I was like, and he knew I couldn't read what he was writing there. So then we
Well, I knew because when Adam was looking, he just like stared blankly. It's one word, and he stared blankly for like three or 4 seconds. I'm like, okay, that's long enough to read a word.
I will put.
I do not write a lot in life anymore. I type everything.
He whispered to me Lepke, but the way it's written, it's like it's Lothlorien fucking Elvish or something like that. Like I can't even read this.
Hey, I got something. That's really fun to talk about, guys. It's called I don't know if you've heard about this thing. It's called a linebacker, and we got
LBs, baby. We got a few, man.
We got a few. We got a few, but there's a special little guy called Jabril Cox with an X.
Jabby.
And he is back apparently to Drake Toll and Bree at the Herald. Sorry, Brie, but that's a name.
Brie at the Herald. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're kind of right now stockpiling these linebackers who, if even one of these guys out of Damone Clark, Overshone, Cox, and I'll even just say those three. If out of those three guys, one of those guys can take it to the next level, we're laughing, man. We are absolutely laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a question I ask you, okay? And it comes from my deep video game history in building a party. Would you rather have 1A and 2 C's or 3 B's?
I think 3 B's, to be honest.
Okay, so linebacker. Obviously, in some position, quarterback, different fucking answer, of course.
The challenge with 3 B's is they're all B's for a reason, and some like so with 1A and C's, you have the potential of
you have the guy
up.
You need for sure.
Yeah,
but if something happens, you don't.
But you have the potential of leveling up some of the C players. Like you put talent in a mix.
Same potential as a B going to an A, and you got 3.
No, but what I'm getting at is if you have 3 average, like I'm just going to use B as an average player, you don't have the ability to kind of level anybody.
Well, here, I'll ask you this. So you have your 1A and your 2 C's. What happened? What are you left with when you lose your 1A?
Yeah,
2 C's.
Yeah,
what happens when you lose a 1B? You're left with 2 B's.
Yeah.
So I honestly, I'd rather take the 3 very good players. Obviously, you want a superstar.
Yes.
No doubt. You want a superstar all the time.
But you know what you know what that's coming with in this scenario.
You know what? If one of the guys goes down, someone else can step up. I don't even know. I'm not even saying what these guys are ranked. Damone Clark had a very good season last year. Jabril Cox, we've been rooting for him since he got drafted out of LSU. And then obviously with Overshone, he's kind of become a little bit of a fan favorite of mine.
Because of that singing.
Because of his singing. I just hope out of those guys, someone could even become a B fringe A player out of those 3.
Yeah.
Out of these 3?
Yeah, those some good looking dudes there.
That's what I was kind of leading to is like, if we are sacrificing, I mean, how many linebackers would they be rolling with if they had these 3 dudes, which I don't think is unrealistic, LVE, and of course Parsons, and it at least on paper in the linebacker position. So that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
They'll roll 6.
The roll was 6. Okay, so there's like the idea that you really have to pick up from these 3 is they're going to be on the team. So who are the ones that are on the cut? Because Cox, Overshone, and Clark, they're going to make it.
Devin
Harper.
Devin Harper. I think he'd be our 6th, to be honest.
I think that Devin Harper and Jabril Cox are more of the special teams guys currently. Damone Clark and LVE are your starters, and then you've got Overshone hopefully coming in and kind of learning that safety linebacker hybrid role in case Curse moves on in the future.
Yeah, the J-Ron, that's actually a lot of people are kind of saying that the J-Ron hybrid linebacker safety guy who can kind of do it all.
Don't you guys dare talk about J-Ron moving on, okay?
Hey, we still have him for pretty sure 2 years, don't we?
Can't pay everybody. No, I think this is his last year.
No, Wilson got the 3 years. So
Wilson got 3.
The hope is they'll sign both Curse and Hooker. Was it Wilson or Hooker? Sorry, maybe. Anyways, one of the
Hooker and Curse next year are up. Yeah.
Yeah. So they, sign them for another 2 or 3 years, and then we got our boys in the back there, really solidified. Okay. Well, look, problem solved. They're all going to be on the team, all available. So, we win.
I still think that you'd take 1A and 2Cs. It's like saying, do you want to get rid of Micah Parsons and then go down to 3Bs? Like that's where my logic goes.
I don't take. You asked about linebackers. I don't think of Micah as a linebacker.
Technically, he's listed.
No. But we're talking about we already have Micah and LVE. It's about.
So would you rather those 3 guys be? One of them ends up being really good, and then the other 2 are fringe even players. A C to me is like a fringe even being able to be a player, like a guy that can even contribute. I'd rather have 3 guys that can be on the field all the time.
Totally agree.
Here's your question based on linebacker name. So would you rather have Sean Lee with no injury history as an A, and then you've got Jabril Cox and Devin Harper as your 2 Cs, we'll say, or would you rather have LVE, Damone Clark as your 2 Bs? And then you have 1 other C, so we'll just add in Jabril Cox as well.
I hate the way that you put that in because Sean Lee with no injury history, I think he's my favorite player that would.
He's an S tier.
Oh, for me, yes. Without injuries, he's an S tier.
But
that's what I mean. So,
he has a spot on our CanFan wall. His jersey's been sitting up there.
Generally,
but that's not the question. If it was an S player and 2 Cs, I'm probably going with the S player.
100% anytime.
Okay, so Rolando McClain, we'll say. He was an A for that 1 season, right?
For that 1 season, I'm taking the Bs, man. I'm taking the Bs.
See, that's how I am as well.
I didn't listen to the question appropriately. I forgot that we were using the S tier class here.
Forget about it.
Because I was viewing Micah Parsons as an A.
Micah's an S, babe.
Of course, Micah's an S. Obviously, but I'm thinking A is the highest tier in the A, B, or C conversation. Because he didn't say A, he didn't say S, A, B, C, D.
You know the tiers.
I know.
Did we want to?
You know the tiers.
They fucked me up.
Well, I think this is gonna.
I redact my statement
because anytime you would get a S tier, which is superstar, okay, you're gonna take it no matter if it comes with fucking 15 Fs. You're gonna cut them.
Right.
Cut the Fs. I'll take the fucking S.
I guess the other the other area I thought I was. Anyways, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how my logic would say it. I redact my statement.
Hey,
well, here's my question though, because we were Ads was going to talk about this earlier. Julian said, "Love talking about the offense, but I need to hear y'all's opinion on the biggest weakness of the defense. Do we think that the linebackers are the biggest weakness?"
Yeah, we did. We put
that's what I think.
We put linebacker as our biggest weakness. We put them on. Did we even give them a C, guys? I think we did. We did. We did tight end. And linebacker, we thought were our biggest weaknesses, our positional weaknesses on offense and defense.
Running back.
No, running back was
sorry. Yeah.
I just wanted to tie that in because I thought it was kind of obvious since we were talking about the linebackers.
Linebacker, we definitely thought was our weakest spot on the defensive side of the ball.
Bring it up, AJ.
This one's all fucked up, but we can just say, yes, our C ranks were tight end, linebacker.
Or as we have it there, Delb.
Our B rank was special teams and offensive line,
aka stall.
Our A rank was CB, wide receiver, running back, and QB.
Which had a little friction.
There's some friction there, and I think
there was some friction there.
I think we all might be feeling a little questionable. But guess what? We're gonna do it again, and EJ will definitely bring you on. Fuck, it'd be nice to have
we need to redo that.
You and Kyle come on to bring some sense to the fucking decision making.
To us three just throwing shit out.
I don't know if I could rank the running backs that high, man.
That's what I said. I said B because you have Tony Pollard. I thought B for running backs, but that's a discussion for another day.
Guys, don't do it now.
The running backs are too high.
S rank, which is our top cream of the crop, baby. You know,
Stadil
was S safeties.
Yeah, was SS.
The SS was safeties, and then defensive line. But we included Micah in that, so that's going to be debated on each time we do the tiers.
Yeah,
we gotta have the debate of where he lands, because had he gone to LB,
pre-rankings,
absolutely. Because if he had to be attached to LB, LBs would be B, and DLs would be A.
Ooh, I mean, if Micah's attached
For
to the
me?
LBs, I say Micah brings the LBs up to an A.
Maybe, sure.
Yeah, I might agree with that.
From
Yep.
C to an A.
For me-
that's what a Super Saiyan does.
That's what
For
a
me,
super,
the
yeah, that's what a
safeties-
Tamaguchi player does.
The safeties aren't an S tier for me. I don't think we have an S tier safety on the team, so I don't see how they could be an S tier. But
Hey, I can agree with
I'll
that.
hold my
The only,
tongue.
the only
You're the one
reason
who brought up
That's
that
fair.
we were
No?
SS for the
well,
safeties, Ants.
this is the reason I
It's
thought
fair.
the safeties was because either one of those guys could get hurt, and I don't think there's a drop off. You have Marquez Bell, who hasn't even done anything yet in the league, and he's not even getting on the field. Whereas on a lot of other teams, that guy would
Izzy.
would be starting. You have Izzy, who whenever he got in there was getting interceptions, and then your
Yeah.
top three guys, I thought two of them at least had Pro Bowl
that's a
seasons.
good point.
So
Now-
I the only reason they were S was no, there isn't an S player on them, but it's the one position that if someone got hurt, I'm not scared about. I'm not scared about it.
Commutative?
Look, a commutative.
Commutative?
Here's the truth, EJ. We saw S ranked, and we just wanted to fucking
We
just
got
wanted to drop something there. and now-
You had to.
I'm looking
Couldn't
over
help
here.
yourself.
Had to.
We're both. I mean, he's not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Our bare knees touch every now and then, and he's just.
And he keeps looking. I don't mind.
Knocking knees over there. Okay.
He's like rock hard on that S.
Hey,
Knock it,
pull up this
knock
article.
on that thing.
Pull up this article. Okay.
pull up this article and pull up your damn pants.
Don't tell me what to do.
Well,
There we go.
3 early surprise standouts from Cowboys mandatory minicamp. And this is from home of the Cowboys CanFan podcast, thelandryhat.com. And our boy who's yet to get on the cast, but I'm going to call him our boy anyways because we send a message to each other every, 3 weeks. Just, oh, sorry, I missed you. Oh, sorry, I missed you. Oh, sorry, I missed you. So it's
That's called follow up.
Or it's called from his standpoint, it's called dodging.
Yeah, it's passive
It's
dodging.
called follow up from us. It's called Jerry passive dodging Trotta. Is that
Doesn't
what you're saying?
matter. Keep, whatever it is, keep writing the articles. But
Yeah.
let's have a look at what he says. Let's
One
pause.
team, one dream. And again, for any of those, any of you that are tuning into the episode on YouTube, we're not sponsored by anybody that you see on this
No,
page. So let's
this
not give Coast Capital. We ain't talking anything. CFL Game Zone. Anybody that's watching this, you probably don't know what the CFL is. EJ, do you know what the CFL is?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Canadian Football League.
Okay, you're supposed to play with the bit and say no. What's the CFL? And I say exactly.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But that's okay.
Cornfield League.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Cornfield Fuck League.
the
And
Cornfield
It is a very competitive event.
It is a very competitive event.
Just gonna say, the Landry Hat. These are wild ads. You got fucking 4 ads on the page at once. It's nuts.
Zoom it in a little bit there. Hey, they got to pay the bills. Can't
I know, but it's a little too much.
Can't go wrong.
Hey, but I guess at the end of the day, if we're part of the network,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, stop biting the hand that's gonna hopefully feed us. Like that's okay.
Hey, as long as your mobile experience is top quality, 10 out of 10 when I run it through the Google mobile test,
You
no
like
complaints. I'm not gonna be
it? And what
mad.
did this do?
I don't know. I didn't.
Before
look.
you guys hop into this article, I will say this. I would 100% rather watch the Cornfield Fuck League than the CFL. 10 out of 10 times.
CFFL Cornfield Fuck League.
Violent and sexual.
No,
You will
do we
not
got
go
here?
home the same.
you will never eat corn the same way. So hot that it popcorn.
Okay.
All right.
So the Dallas Cowboys kicked off mandatory minicamp Tuesday. 11-on-11 drills, 7-on-7s, blah blah blah. Let's get into the thick of it. Again, Tristan Vizcaino. He's getting notoriety on this ad as well. I think we
8
can.
for 8, man.
Yeah.
He went 8 for 8. It's a thing. Kicking is a thing. He went 8 for 8. Hit one from 65, hit another one from like 57. He had a couple nice kicks.
Now, Ant, I know you like what you're seeing here.
I like it.
Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver, the second standout.
I love it. I love to see that, man.
Let me read it. How many?
And hang on a second. Are
Yeah.
they doing a hot keyword there by putting is Trotta like foreshadowing something by using the word bandwagon in his first line of this of this? Possibly.
You SEO salty dog. You're SEOing us already.
Come on.
I love it. Okay. How many fans have climbed aboard the Tolbert Year 2 bandwagon? Hey, get me a ticket. Choo choo.
I was on year 1. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Same. I was too.
You've been
Make
around.
it two.
That's why you got that beard, EJ. You've been riding that train.
Been growing
for
this
so
ever
long.
since we drafted Tolbert.
That's
man.
the Tolbert beard.
That's the Tolbert.
Yeah, Savage.
I'm
is
not
going to
shaving this
Tolbert
thing
beard.
until Tolbert goes for 1,200 yards.
Oh, breaks
I like
1,200.
it.
Okay, hey, Tolbert.
Hey,
breaks
that's on-
1,200 yard. Yeah,
that-
you're
that's
shaving the
on-
beard.
that's on-
record.
That's a
on
second
record.
clip. That's a second clip we got of you. First
Clip
clip
it.
Keep 'em
is
coming.
leave.
Put it on the cutting
TP20.
board. Put it on the cutting board.
So Tolbert, took me 3 times to get that out. Tolbert was targeted early and often to start minicamp. Per team reports, it's obvious Tolbert is playing faster and thinking less during his routes. He's lined up both on the outside and in the nickel and showed a level of comfort at both positions.
I like it. I like
So-
everything you just said except roots.
Yeah.
Routes? Guys, just
Yeah, routes.
you got to get past it. It happens. It's
Hey,
fun
yeah,
for
so-
me.
Hey, guess what? Move on.
Let's,
I moved.
I brought this up in my video last night as well. I think that Tolbert didn't start playing wide receiver he didn't start playing football till 11th grade in high school. So he is going to be one of those players that it takes a little bit more time for him to get going. But once he's in that offense, once he starts understanding things, the game slows down a little bit more for him. I think that it's going to be a good thing for him. Just because, I mean, you talk about coming from a smaller school, South Alabama, coming up to the premier program in the NFL, being under the lights like the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, how many primetime games do we have per year? It was a tall task for the kid, and he's been putting in the work. He's been at the DAC field, and I'm just excited to see him. See what he does.
It's good to hear early indications that he's kind of maybe stepped up from this point last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, first of all, do you think, obviously, Tolbert's worth giving a second view in this new offense? That, I don't know. The big thing I'm reading online with the change from kind of, what are they calling now? The Texas coast or something like that? Not the West Coast offense. I saw a
Texas coast.
I think that's what it is. But anyways, it's this meshing basically of
Are you talking about the cinnamon toast?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah.
that
love
is
it.
delicious.
No,
The
Dak-
melt?
No, it
Dak
came out
Prescott.
that Dak Prescott was saying, yeah, they're calling it the Texas Coast offense instead of the West Coast.
Yeah, we're doing the plays that we
There you
want to
go.
do.
So, but what the common kind of theory is that it's removing any curls, which is just gonna.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
good. Get them the fuck out. Get
You
no
know-
curl route.
Yeah, fuck them, eh?
curls
Gosh,
are
I only like curls on my women.
and curls are great in Madden when you need 10 yards and you got someone who's just gonna fucking hook really good. But that doesn't happen.
But in Madden,
reality.
when you do a curl, they always like fall, and you're like, why are you falling here?
Yeah, but you
like,
get 10
the
yards.
fuck up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think I don't know, that's the read, and I think that benefits to Tolbert's play and also like everyone's play on the field. You just think about those guys running straight routes. Maybe they're not all straight necessarily, but they're fuck you guys. Couple routes, straight routes, but they are maybe turning a little 15 degrees.
Opening their
maybe
hips.
it's 45 degrees, but their hips are open and they're running, they're sprinting.
They're opening their hips, and
Yeah.
they're cutting off lines from those DBs.
If I never saw a Gallup curl route again, I think I'd be better off. So
He was
I
not
actually
the guy.
like that.
He was not the guy to be doing curls, man.
Facts.
Him and Noah Brown together. Every time they ran a curl route, I just wanted to punch
It was
myself in the face.
disaster. It
Yeah,
was disaster.
Mike McCarthy says that they're going to keep the curls in the gyms.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
That's
keep
funny.
the curls in the gyms and keep my boys running straight. I'm running streaks every game. Woo!
We're gonna run go routes
Oh, yeah.
every game.
I'm surprised he didn't talk about curly fries, to be honest.
Curly fries aren't much of a thing anymore. Remember when they
No.
landed and they
He's-
were like huge,
I do.
He's the guy that's keeping Arby's open. Straight, just Mike McCarthy.
dude.
Brother Adrian might also be keeping
yeah.
Arby's going.
I could
Brother
go
Adrian,
I could go
Anytime
for a
he
good
goes
Arby's
to-
sesh.
Quick Arby's.
anytime he goes to the States, bag of Arby's every time.
Oh yeah,
quick Arby's
Oh,
story.
yeah.
a bag of beef and cheds. Oh yeah, baby, let's go.
The only time I've been to Arby's. I was traveling with the Bessies, and we went to. I believe we went. It's when we went to our Edmonton trip. I might be right.
Yeah, you're 100%.
But we were
correct.
coming back, and we stopped at an Arby's. There was like one Arby's in the fucking kind of middle of
Alberta somewhere.
Yeah, it was like, why the fuck is
And
there
did you
even
like
a?
it?
It's not good.
Oh, don't say that.
I love Arby's, man. I could go
Oh,
for
yeah.
a bag
It's
of
like-
Arby's right now.
Yeah, but it's like I could make you a better
Lies.
cheese and ham fucking.
Yeah, it's roast beef, some weird orange sauce, and cheddar, like
A stale bun.
stale bun with like little fucking crostinis on top of it.
You know, I'd try it again though.
You know what? I could go.
And
for
if
a
you're gonna
bag
go to
of
Arby's, you gotta ball out. You can't get the cheap stuff on their menu, bro.
No,
Well,
You gotta
what- you
one
can
of
go-
everything.
Good stuff, man.
I know. I did just get like the fucking whatever it is, triple layer.
Well,
ham
we
sandwich.
grew up. The only thing it was curly fries and then the beef and cheddar sandwiches, and then I remember when I used to back in the day work at Blockbuster, and there was an Arby's like right beside, so I'd eat there for on break sometimes, and I was like, they have other stuff besides beef and cheddars at Arby's, like not under no. So I had like a chicken cordon bleu sandwich, and it was pretty fire. I'll say
Okay,
it.
now that's something different. I didn't
Yeah.
try.
Hey, guess what? We're doing it. We're doing an Arby's trip when we're on one.
Arby's, hey, Arby's, we need the sponsorship, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
Arby's,
Yeah.
hit us up. You've left Canada, so when we seek you out, we want that beef and cheddar.
The final hit here is just Jabby Cox.
Jabby Cox.
We talked about him, so let's move on to what SI has to say. And just give me a second
I
here.
thought you were gonna say sigh.
Nate Dogg saying there's still an Arby's in Aldergrove. Interesting.
Guess where I'm going this weekend? Oh,
Aldi.
all this Arby's talks making Anth hungry.
Oh
This
yeah,
guy
I would
again.
crush it. I'd crush 6 beef and cheds right now.
I'm starting to really like Mike Fisher and Brie.
You gotta say it.
There's Brie.
Go say it.
I can't. Brie.
Amaranthus.
I mean, you
Thanks,
just nailed
DJ.
it. Brie Amaranthus, and Mike Fisher here on SI Sports. I don't know. It says Sports Nation at the top. I'm just gonna say SI, man. Cowboys top 3 standouts at minicamp. This one actually, this one's a little bit more. It's got a little bit more detail. Goes through each kind of position too, so we can move as quickly or slow as we want on it. But do you guys want me to keep reading? Am I doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Because I'm getting a little tongue tied.
Oh, I
No,
know.
you're doing well.
Okay, the 3 stars on offense. It's a guy. It's a guy just popping up on the radar. 7th round rookie receiver Jalen Brooks. Wow, haven't heard about him.
Haven't heard Brooks.
Let's hear
Actually,
about
you
him.
know what? I think I saw a clip of him just running sweaty with his shirt off, just a pair of trainers and shorts, not just trainers. Yeah, he looked fast.
And you click next because it wasn't a trailer for his doc.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Next one, of course, is Jabby Cox. And then on special teams, some credit to kicker Vizcain, though.
So you got
Everyone's talking about
two.
this
You got
kicker.
2 of the same. You got 2 of the same. You got the kicks McGee and Jabby Cox.
But instead of Jalen Tolbert, we're talking about Jalen Brooks.
That's good, though. Let's get some competition. On offensive line, a trio of major storylines here as the
Hey,
Cowboys.
I was about to say, I would like some Brooks and Cooks action.
Yes.
Ooh, Brooks and Cooks. It sounds like a fucking crack.
Crack
Crack
you got 'em.
'em if you got 'em.
Brooks and
Crack
Cooks
if you
either
got 'em.
sounds like a great deli,
It does.
a deli, or a really solid clothing company,
Here, do you want to?
or a great wide receiver trio, a duo in football.
Adam, take this one.
There you go.
So offensive line, a trio of major storylines here as Cowboys now believe Terrence Steele might be ready for start of training camp. No question mark. We'll have to see when we get to Oxnard, said Coach Mike McCarthy, and maybe that explains in part why Dallas finally unveiled the second major storyline in this group. Tyron Smith working at left tackle this week with Tyler Smith lining up at guard. Matt Waletzko got much of the work at right tackle, so not anything different than what we heard earlier on. Quick shout out to Julian 424. He's taking off. He's going to see us on Sunday. How about them Cowboys, Julian? Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you Sunday service.
Thanks, Julian.
Woo 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 woo.
But yeah, I mean, not much different than what the other rags were saying about the offensive line.
Well, I know EJ's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. It's going to happen. Tyron Smith's going down at some point. So we could talk about him starting at left tackle all we want. It was the same thing as last year. He was the left tackle. I think it was 1 week into training camp. He has a almost season-ending injury. So yeah, it's all fun and games that he's the left tackle right now, but his body's proven that he can't make it a full season over the last 5 or 6 years. So yeah, it's great right now, but it's not a this.
Does anybody? Sorry, Anthony, sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
Does anybody know if Jason Peters signed anywhere? Because I wonder if they kind of whispered in Jason Peters' ear, like, hey, if this happens, we're always open to bringing you back.
He's still out there.
Okay.
I hope they do. You know what I mean?
And if Jason Peters isn't, someone like him is going to be there.
I loved Jason Peters last year. As far as on the sounds of the sideline, he was always out there cheering on his dudes, whether he was playing or not. He was always in the ear. He was like another coach, and that's super
goes
valuable
a long way,
to a
man.
team that's missing that.
Sounds of the sideline definitely helps you get a different perspective on some players that you can. It's easy for us as fans and for viewers to like actively like berate people or see what they're doing on there, but it's just like when you if you've ever played any type of competitive sports or if you've watched and people play and you kind of get involved in their story and who they are as people. So I love seeing Sounds of the Sideline because absolutely, like you just said, you start to look at someone like Jason Peters, like, what else can he bring to the team? Maybe he's not getting the type of like stats that we want, but is he contributing to allowing 4 other players to level up and get those stats? So
and he played well last year.
Yeah,
also.
and he played
Peters
well.
played pretty well.
That helps. But I'm saying like you get those guys who can help kind of coach other people up on the field doing the work. It is valuable to have somebody who might not be a stats guy to come in and actually impact other players.
Yeah, and not only that, but like growing up, I know from my perspective, playing sports, somebody you're down on yourself on the bench or whatever, your teammate comes over and is like, yo, that one play doesn't define who you are as a player. You're better than that. That just amps you up to forget about that stuff, get back out there on the field. That stuff is super valuable, and that's some of the things that the Super Bowl teams, they have those guys. So we need more guys like that in the building. So if that's Jason Peters coming back or that's some other veteran we bring in, I would love it.
Yep.
I think that's a huge tipping point factor if you're deciding between 2 players of like very similar skill, or at least what you think they can do for the team is okay, but is this guy going to come in and be more of a headache, or is he going to come in and help motivate and improve and teach our younger guys? Oh, well, I mean, that's going to go a lot more.
And most importantly, groom them.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's
groom them all. Groom them all. Groom everybody.
Crack them if you groom them.
I don't care who they are. You hunt them down, you groom them, and you bring them in. Let's go.
Groom. But because we know it's always better to, what's the saying? You work with the devil that you know than the devil that you don't. So like Jason Peters, we already know what he's capable of. He was on the team. He was on the squad last year. We definitely have the cap space for someone like him. Bring him on for another year. Because, like you said, we know our boy's going to go down. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, Tyron ain't making it a full season at left tackle.
No, that's the unfortunate truth. Tight ends.
Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to say it?
What?
Go for it.
Oh,
you can read it.
Yeah, I'm refreshed now.
You're refreshed. You're a big fan of tight ends.
You know me too well. The Legend of Peyton Hendershot. I like that. That's a good title for a movie. The Legend of Peyton Hendershot was in rhythm as a Dak Prescott red zone target. Not involved, though, was rookie Lukey Scoons. He's out with a walking boot.
He's out there with a walking stick?
Yeah. He's blind. No,
he's got the old ski. He's got the old ski boot on right now.
Yeah, he's got plantar.
No, he's got a. I said he's out. He's out of it. Out of the walking boot.
Oh, he's out of the walking boot. Sorry, out of the walking boot while dealing with plantar fascia.
They worded that horribly. They worded that horribly. It should be he's out with a walking boot while dealing with plantar fasciitis or whatever.
Yeah.
Expected to be ready for training camp.
Is that just a fancy word to say he got plantar warts in the showers because he didn't wear any fucking slides or what?
No, it's not actually. It's not actually warts though.
Plantar fasciitis. That could be something that comes back to bite you.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it
here,
can.
I don't know. What is plantar fasciitis?
This
Let me look.
This one goes out to our boy and his plantar fasciata.
So
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him,
The
son.
plantar fascia is a long, thin ligament that lies directly beneath the skin at the bottom of your foot. It connects the heel to the front of your foot and supports the arc of your foot. The plantar fascia, which
Yeah, it's
That's
a
how we're
bad
saying it.
injury. It's
Yeah.
not a good injury. To
it's
have.
it's
like turf toe.
ligament.
It's
It's
like
a
turf toe.
ligament. Yes.
It's like you
Okay.
get it, and it's like you read it and you automatically think it's like Ad thought was foot warts, but it's not. But it's something that's nagging, and
Yeah.
hopefully
That
it
is
goes away.
nagging. Yeah, my dad has that pretty bad, and it's one of those things you just
Can
have
he
to
run?
manage.
Can he run 10 yards and catch a football?
Well, I mean, I don't think my dad's quite the athlete that the Scooney is, but
Okay, well, good thing
and he doesn't have the medical staff the Cowboys have either. So
Fair.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Very,
jab
hey,
a
that was
couple
very
needles.
that was a nice political answer there, EJ.
That was a very good
good. That was
political answer.
very very good political
So hang on,
answer.
before-
Me, I'd be like,
stay here
fuck
for a
no,
sec.
dad can't run 10 yards.
So two things on this. One, it seems like the hardest injuries have the lamest names, like plantar fasciata and turf toe.
What are
Two
you
of the-
casting a spell on me?
Two of the
Plantar fascia.
two of the lamest names are like detrimental. And then second, I want you to zoom in on that photo for a second there, AJ. Doesn't it look like just zoom in on 85 catching the ball? Look at 85. I just could. It's like from the back. It looks like he's balding, and it's like, who's this old dude out there fucking just balling out right now? Right?
It looks like he's on the sideline playing catch with another fucking friend or something, and they've been allowed on the field because they know the coach, one of the coaches.
85 comes in
That'd
there
be
from
me.
his
That would be me.
from his fantasy football team, fucking just catching fucking some rocks.
I believe, is that 8-5?
I think 89. It could be
89?
89.
I think it's 89. That's Hendy's number. But anyways,
8-5.
was this shot with like a potato or something?
Yeah. Why were they taking pictures with potatoes?
This was
right
shot with a Motorola Razr, or someone's a big fan of. Someone was trying to do like a cross promotion for that new movie BlackBerry coming out, so they used like a BlackBerry 8800 to take that photo.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Go see it.
That's what I'm saying. Cross promotion. It was really good.
It was.
Yeah,
You did?
Yeah, I watched it. It was awesome. BlackBerry. Check it out.
And also, if you're gonna have a berry, a blackberry is your best berry to eat.
Yeah. And guess what? It's a Canadian company.
Okay. Receiver, someone who we have not really touched on at all since his I guess we touched on him a lot. We really touched him up when he first was signed to the Cowboys. But Brandon Cooks.
One cannot help but notice the speed with which Brandon Cooks does everything. No wasted movement. All rapid movement. And on this day, also noticeable was South Carolina product Jalen Brooks, not Jalen Tolbert. Sort of forgotten in all attention given the stars at the top of the depth chart and all the competition at the second level, led by Jalen Tolbert.
Okay, so that's the second hearing of Brooks, though. That
Brooks brothers, Brooks and Cooks coming in there.
Well, there's always
Brooks
that.
and Cooks,
there's
man.
always that one wide receiver that no one has talked about that ends up having a great camp.
Yeah.
There's Houston last year that everyone kind of was talking about. There was actually a few guys last year in camp that were huge favorites, and it sounds like Brooks might be that guy right now.
Hey, for your fourth wide receiver, if the skill level is within what we think we can make work on the NFL playing field, I want the kid who's gonna, even if he's maybe the B of that tier, I want the kid who's gonna fucking puke every game because he's playing every down that he gets on as hard as he can. Because I know when the pressure's on, he's gonna go out there and do the exact same damn thing.
I mean, you think that? I mean, so obviously the contention for that fourth spot, we're seeing it's going to be the battle of the Jalens. No word of Turpentine getting any type of like wide receiver love. Maybe he's just going to be that specialist in the special teams.
No Simi Fioco mention at
No
all.
Simi
in
Fioco
anything?
mention. Yep. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, it's the battle. It's the battle of the Jalen's right now.
I'm kind
for
of
that fourth
wondering if Jalen Brooks is invited to Dak's little place to work out, because I think that especially with McCarthy and what he's been saying in the press conferences and stuff, he's giving more authority to Dak.
Yep.
So if it's between this guy and Fehoko or whoever, which I know has been at the Dak field, I wonder who Dak's going to be, saying that he likes better.
More comfortable with.
Yeah.
Can you bring up that quote that Mike McCarthy just gave, Alex?
Which one?
He's talking about giving
Something about Arby's.
Yeah, it's not the Arby's
Is
quote.
that in one of the articles we had up? Or?
It's been recent. No, not in one of the
Oh,
articles.
okay.
It was just put out today. And this EJ is just talking about it. Mike McCarthy's talking about he's like, I don't care to be basically saying I want my quarterback to own the offense. I want my quarterback. I want a Hall of Famer quarterback to take the offense and
I mean, you're
and
throwing
run with it.
a lot on me to search for.
Just type in Mike McCarthy and then just go news, and I bet you it'll come up.
Ad went on like a.
I was trying to do the quote right there.
He was giving you a first chapter of a book.
Which one?
I don't fucking know. EJ saw it too. I mean, so I thought it was.
I'm not doubting you. I just want to get the right one up. But I was like, okay, am I typing all of this in?
He was basically just saying,
that
he
second
doesn't.
one. Yeah, who's?
Oh, you got it?
I think so.
Okay. Cool.
Just gonna double check here. But yeah, interesting that there is no chatter of Turpin, because he just feels like, for me, okay, if you got Deuce Vaughn to play a role of a speedster on the outside, isn't Turpin just a little bit better? They're both smaller guys, but at least Turpin's like in that kind of acceptable, traditional NFL bubble of like height. Like, he's tiny, but he gets in that fucking edge. And
5'9" doesn't seem that small now.
Yeah,
compared to
But I don't know. But look, if the other guy does it better, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what? I guess what I said the quote perfectly. So who gives a fuck?
You know what? It makes sense.
Mike McCarthy's actually been throwing a bit of shade at Kellen Moore. He threw a little bit more shade. I'm gonna get Alex. Google this. Mike McCarthy's.
Google me this, man.
Mike
McCarthy's supersized sandwich.
What shade?
No, he threw a little bit of shade, saying they're running the offense that they want to run now. They're not. They're not running.
He said finally.
Yeah, finally we're running the offense we want to run, is what Mike McCarthy said. And it's kind of like, okay, well, what were they doing for the last 3 years?
Yeah,
running fucking vanilla puddings offense that Mike McCarthy clearly hated. So it's nice. I'm excited for Mike McCarthy, and I'm excited for the Cowboys offense. I really think they're going to take some steps this year.
Well, this is so just going back on what EJ and I were trying to say about Mike McCarthy, and Ant's kind of talking about it. The thing that I'm respecting a lot with Mike McCarthy right now is he's basically saying, I want the offense similar to what happened with the defense when Dan Quinn came in. Play the plays that you're comfortable with and that you like, and let's just master those. Let's not have 190 fucking different options or whatever. Let's get good at the things that we know we like to play and that we feel can work. And then going on and saying, like, I want my quarterback to own the offense. I don't want to own the offense. I'm going to call plays. I need that quarterback to step it up and actually run the shit that he wants to run.
Yeah, and I mentioned this in a tweet earlier during the offseason. I just said it's a good thing that you kind of dumb it down and let your quarterback do the things that work for him. That's what worked in Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts. That's the reason why the 49ers are successful through Kyle Shanahan. He always puts the players in the best positions to succeed. So why are you trying to make Dak what he isn't? And that's what I think that Kellen Moore got too honed in on. Oh, this is what I liked as a quarterback. This is what I saw. So Dak has to see that. Yep. Dak and Kellen aren't alike. You know what I mean? They're not, they have totally different playing styles. Not only that, but going a step further with the wide receivers, Kellen would think, what did I like? What provided the most points while I was in the Boise State offense in college? And it's like, dude, that stuff doesn't work in the NFL to that degree. Yes, we had the top scoring offense, but at the same time, if you're having every single wide receiver run the exact same route on a single play,
Makes no sense.
That's a horrible play design.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just the whole philosophy and Brian Schottenheimer, Dak, and Mike McCarthy all being a hive mind and collecting their thoughts and really being one. I think that's going to be great for the offense.
I agree.
I skipped running back because we already beat running back dead with a horse. Sorry. We beat running back like a dead horse.
We did something.
We took a horse.
And we beat
the running backs with it.
The horse is
Beat
fine.
them down. The horse is fine. The running backs are dead.
Yeah. Defensive line, though. We got Hankins versus Mozzie Smith versus Bahana in a triple threat cage match.
Love it.
No holds barred, baby, competition.
Love it.
That should be a battle, and it is, with first round Mozzie eventually winning the job. And I think that's what you want to hear, right? Your
That's
first
what you
round
want.
pick.
Yep.
Yeah, taking
Oh, yeah,
over for the 30 something year old 1 year deal guy. That's basically Hankins is a stopgap for Mozzie Smith to end up being a full-time starter.
Yep.
That's all it is. And that's good. That's a good thing. We should be happy about it.
Yeah, and Hankins knows it. Hankins is not saying, I want to sign another 4-year contract with any team. He's going to go
I hope he's
year
going to
by
coach
year.
up. I feel like he's a guy that's going to give Mozzie Smith a lot of good insight into being an NFL player.
And that one kind of tying it back in with the last topic when we're talking about the QB situation and McCarthy. When you look at like good coaching and good GMing, get players paired up with other players and keep players that you know you can help develop. And I think that's a very important thing that you just said. Having someone like Hankins being able to coach up Mozzie and making him into this like maybe formidable player, like that's a big win for the Cowboys and for us as fans watching the Cowboys.
Yeah, and I would say I think it's Hankins versus Mozzie. The versus Quentin Bahana.
Bahana might not even make the team.
Throw that out.
Bahana might not even make the team.
I would
They're
cut him
just
because he
having fun
doesn't
with
give
it.
you anything on special teams. He's going to be on the
Yeah.
field for maybe, he can only be on the field for maybe during rundowns. Like he's not going to give you anything pass rush. So Bahana's out for me. I'm out on him. But I wish him best of luck whenever he inevitably goes to the Texans.
Thanks, Bahana. Go to the Bahamas.
Well, maybe this will change your mind. Not on Bahana, but just on the necessity of a third, I guess, defensive tackle.
Third big boy.
Third big boy in the middle. Maybe the visions of continuing the no QB sneak streak that has kept the Eagles' Jalen Hurts out of the end zone during his entire Philly versus Dallas career is this trio acting as that goal line package.
Are you
You're
asking
thinking
a
three of the
question?
big
Are you-
boys. No, you're thinking three of the big boys. I still don't think he makes. I still don't think he makes the field. I'd rather have the two big dudes.
You can put
I'd rather
someone
have
else in
Hank.
there.
Yeah, get D-Law in the middle, man. I'd rather
Yeah.
have D-Law in the middle,
Yep.
but beside Mozzie and Hankins than Bahana.
And we talked linebackers. Let's look at what they say about defensive backs here and special
DBs,
teams. I mean,
baby.
it's back-to-back.
DBs, baby.
So, okay, here we go. A lot of question marks. Cowboys had scheduled 11-on-11 work in the minicamp, but decided to back off and limit things to 7-on-7. Why?
Sorry, I was going to say the why for you.
No, I thought you were going to continue. McCarthy has been fined by the NFL twice in the last 2 years, conducting workouts that the league has deemed to be too physical. Some fucking little rat is hanging out at practice, watching, taking pictures. It's too physical out there.
Mike.
No, he doesn't warn. He just watches and calls.
I want Mike to do like a Triple H and just go.
Yeah.
The guy that's ratting on the Cowboys, he's definitely not trying to get into any type of confrontation. He's like, oh, yep, there it is. Way too much contact. I got him this time.
It's like this. So I'm just watching him. I'm up here right
Reports
now.
back to Goodell.
Hey, hey, get out of here. Get out of here, you little rat. Mike McCarthy sees him under the bleachers.
Mike has like an air horn, and then Jerry sends the dogs out.
drone?
Jerry has like a bunch of Dobermans that like just chase through fucking AT&T Stadium after any fucking fine rats.
But anyways, there's nothing there. Sorry. And special teams, blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, hey,
Okay.
you know what's there? Go down for a second. That's what there. Look at Jerry.
Hey.
Zoom in on Jerry. Get it. Let's get a zoom in on Jera. He's looking pretty good for 80-year-old, right? He
Yeah,
looks
I
all
think
right.
his eyes are still there.
You know, you get the boxing champ coming in there, fucking touring the stadium.
Is that this guy?
Yep.
Cool. Cool.
Do you know Jerry
No.
fucking the?
That's actually the guy with the hat. Is the boxing champ. AJ.
Well, who? The guy to the right? No, the guy to the left is.
All right,
No, the guy taking the photo.
Yeah.
guys. I think we can fit everything in. We're gonna quickly do.
Okay, quickly, and anything we're talking about does not go hand in hand. But yeah, we'll
No.
quickly do it. We'll
What would
quickly
Jerry
do
do?
something.
I'm throwing out the idea of quickly doing this. Okay.
Okay,
20 milli now after all we've talked about. What would you do with it personally and
No,
with the Cowboys?
with the
you
Cowboys.
give me 20 million. I'm buying a place in Fort Worth, and I'm covering the Cowboys full time. Giving myself. Oh wait, we're talking about the Cowboys. We're not talking about ourselves.
No, you can.
No.
No,
Bro, it's like
I
the
don't mind
Phase house,
knowing.
but we call it the CanFan house.
The
That's
Can-
that's
Yeah,
what
there
that's
you
what
go.
I would do. I'd have the CanFan house. I would strictly pay myself just enough to get by, just to have everything I needed in life, and 20
Done.
mil. We could live
Sounds
off of that.
fire.
All of us.
Now,
all
what
of
would
us
you-
could live off of that.
Now, what would you do if you were Jerry Jones?
I think
Owner
EJ brought it.
GM.
Probably just blow in a club or something.
Yeah, just throw it down on.
He'd
Buy
go to-
something I don't need.
What is the place in Atlanta? The one the famous
Atlanta.
No, but in Atlanta, there's like a famous like stripper place. That's where Jerry's going with his 20 million. He's just fucking with that like cash.
Gary
gun,
Jones and James Harden are best friends.
yeah, he's just fucking shooting dollar bills out.
Well, the Cowboys got 20 million in salary cap officially now after our dear.
You know what I
boy-
would do with that?
Yeah.
I would get Diggs's contract done.
Yes.
Yep. I think that's probably, and a lot of people are calling for that. I think shoring up one of the three guys. Let's be realistic. The three guys that were gonna eat into a lot of the salary cap in the next years are Diggs, CD, and Micah. Right? Why not get ahead of?
You could add Steele in there.
You
Pollard
could add
if you
Steele,
want.
but why not get ahead of it? Why not get
Yeah.
ahead? And because if Diggs goes off and has, I'm gonna even say 6 interceptions this year, his price tag is shooting through the roof. Why not get ahead of that and try to get a guy signed long term, or 4 years or 5 years, whatever you want to consider long term?
Yeah.
And you,
No, and I brought up that Jalen Tolbert didn't even start playing football since 11th grade. Diggs didn't even start playing cornerback until he was a sophomore in college. So
Yeah,
crazy.
this guy's gonna get better. He's
getting better.
He's already
He
good.
is.
He's already an all-pro, first team all-pro.
He's like this.
going to
He's
get better.
uptrending. He's uptrending every
Exactly.
single year he's been in the NFL. He's noticeably been better. Yeah, he didn't have the picks, but he was a lot better of a corner last year than he was in 2021.
EJ, do you think Buffalo versus Dallas? It's Diggs versus Diggs. Like that's going to be the big. That's going to be the
Has
big.
to be.
Yeah.
Has
It's
to
gonna
be.
be awesome. I can't wait for
I'm gonna
that.
love that matchup, man. That's gonna be such a fun one to highlight during
Yep.
leading up to the game, man. Oh man.
Do you,
That's-
do you think they're going to sell half and half jerseys, just like Kelsey?
that
This shows
I
like
actually might
Kelsey's
buy one of
parents?
those. That'd be
I
legit.
mean, I don't even know if they sell them. I mean, I know the Kelsey brothers' mom was wearing the half and halves, but now like you go for like a Diggs half and half.
That'd be kind of
What-
sick, honestly.
What's the day? What week do we play
It's
against
like isn't it like week 16 or something like that?
against
Bills.
Bills.
against
Hopefully
Buffalo?
we
We're
don't
at
play
Buffalo.
at them. We're at
We
Buffalo
do.
week
Yeah, we're at
16.
Buffalo.
Yeah, we are.
Oh
It-
god, that
it's-
late in the season?
Yeah, it is late in the
Ooh.
season. I'm pretty sure. I think it's
Get
after
your
Thanksgiving.
snow coats.
Yeah, for real. That's gonna be a tough game. Especially with, like I brought this up on my little video I dropped last night, is the Cowboys have so many unknowns with the running back group right now. I yes, Mike McCarthy, yes, Brian Schottenheimer want to be a run first team, but is it really even logistically, gonna happen with how unknown our running backs are right now? Like, that you have 3 solid wide receivers and a fourth, especially if Jalen Tolbert's coming on.
Or
Do you
Brooks.
really want to, or Brooks, yeah. If you want to have those guys be as efficient as possible, you're gonna have to throw the ball. That's just the fact of the matter. So, what's gonna stop that? What's gonna limit that? Snow, cold weather, windiness, aka Buffalo late in the season.
Right.
It's gonna be a very tough game for us to win.
Oh, how close
it's
was
gonna
I?
be messy.
How close was I? I said week 16, Alex. What is it?
Week 15.
Boom.
Wow.
I was right there,
Yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold. I
At
was
home.
worried we were gonna be at Buffalo week 11, and CanFan was gonna have to go to Buffalo in November. EJ, let me give you a little backstory. We're fake Canadians. Where we live, it doesn't get that cold. So for us to have to go outside in Buffalo in November would not have been good. But yeah, it's not good for the Cowboys to
guess
have
what?
to
We would've
travel
done
to
it 'cause
Buffalo in week 15.
Because we went to fucking
Oh, man.
Minnesota. And
It was
wa-
inside. The game was inside.
Yeah, but
It's
I'm
a
saying
stadium.
outside when we were fucking tailgating wasn't fucking a problem. I could have done 4 hours outside in that.
until it gets to, like as the sun goes down, it drops another
Hey,
however many
bro.
degrees.
Long John, second layers,
I-
dog. You know.
You guys,
Those
I was
places-
drinking a beer without gloves on, and Adam and Alex are like, "You're not wearing gloves." They're like sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we'll
It's-
do Buffalo in November.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
those
we will.
places that don't have the mountains. If it's cold and it doesn't have the mountains to block the wind,
Oh yeah.
oh god, man, that's bad. Like I live in Kansas, it's just plains.
Yeah.
So if it's cold, it is very cold here.
Oh yeah, you get the high plains drifter winds coming at you.
Yep.
Get the flats.
So
But
back-
then it gets hot as shit though in the summer.
Yeah. We have the everything. All of the weather forecasts, we get them.
Like
So-
You get all four seasons. So back to the 20 mil that the Cowboys. So EJ, you were saying the Diggs signing Diggs. I think
Extend
that's
Diggs.
a great idea. For me, if I was doing it, similar to that, or just roll the cap into next year. I maybe
Yeah.
not get into any more cap trouble. Maybe just sit on it and see what you're gonna do. But I think your answer for me is probably the best answer.
I'm the scene at the end of the movie Signs where Mel Gibson looks to Joaquin Phoenix and he says, "Just swing, Meryl. I'm fucking going for the Super Bowl this year, so I'm fucking looking for the dog that fits into that 20 million cap, and I'm signing somebody like a Dalvin Cooks or a fucking Hopkins or somebody that can fucking help tip the tipping point of my team that year. I'm taking that 20 mil and I'm fucking signing a dog. Period.
So you think either
End
of
of
those
story.
guys? You think either of those guys, Hopkins or Cook, are taking us to the Super Bowl? Is what you're saying? You're pushing the chips into the middle.
Here's the thing. I feel very confident with our team this year without that person. So yeah, like the sensible person to me, which I'm not, would say roll into the cap or shore up a contract to one of our long-term players. But I like the excitement in me says I feel like our team without anybody else right now has a very, very high shot at going to the fucking show and taking it and taking that title, taking that strap this year without signing anybody. So why wouldn't I want to take one more person and fucking try to make it for sure?
Okay. AJ?
But again, and that's like, not to
Adam?
not to get micro about it. I'm not telling you what position.
Well,
I'm just saying I would
Hey,
find.
hey, ads. These are the best available right now.
These
DeAndre
ads.
Hopkins, Yannick Ngakoue, Clowney, Dalton Reisner, Marcus Peters, Melvin Ingram, Teddy Bridgewater, Frank Clark, Bryce Callahan, Justin Houston, John Johnson. Does any of those names?
There's no one out there that is that. But maybe
is
you
that
get
guy,
a couple
other
guys.
than
Yeah,
Hopkins, maybe.
There's no
And Cooks
Hopkins.
is- yeah.
Yeah.
Hopkins is the only one that I would be personally in on, like heavily. Dalton Reisner, if you wanted to
Yeah,
bring
I was
him
gonna
in.
say. I was gonna say you don't like Reisner.
I do. I mean, he's I think he's like 30 now. 28. So yeah, I would be on for a little bit of Reisner.
And that doesn't
I was rise to that.
I'll rise to Reisner. That with ads take too, it doesn't take out possibly trading for someone and taking over their cap, right? So if you're going all in, maybe there's a guy that's not on the free agency list that the Cowboys, like a Dalvin Cook, obviously would be that sort of guy. But maybe there's a guy that they go all in at and have to obviously pay him this year that they think can get them over the NFC championship hump.
And I'm not necessarily even saying the sexy positions like wide receiver or running back. Like I'm even saying like go for a lineman. We're none of us are confident that our OL has that depth, and there's some holes. So like, why wouldn't we try and go for the fences on one of those cats?
And I think that ads makes a good point here,
take.
because what is the what has become the reason why we've been dropping games or whatnot. It's because Dak gets hurt. The last year before this, or last 2 years, breaks his entire leg. Then he has the calf injury. Then he has the thumb. 3 years in a row, he's coming off of some type of injury that's hindered him from not only having the best season he could, but also hindering a team to eclipsing that point that we should be at as an offense heading into the playoffs. What happens when you solidify your offensive line and they're the same guys from week 1 to week 18? You keep Dak healthy relatively. Totally. Obviously, you're going to have to deal with minor things, but that's the biggest discrepancy in the past 3 seasons for the Cowboys, is just keeping that guy healthy. And it's kind of reminiscent of Tony Romo in the past. I don't want it to be. I want to keep that guy up and running. So,
and I mean, sorry, Alex, I know you want to hop in on this riveting conversation. You could also
keep it on the sidelines. You could just a little bit more.
Going with your fucking your guys' logic about fucking 3 B-ass players. Sign 2 Bs at 10 milli each for one fucking year.
Different by position, though.
I'm just saying. You could instead of going for that.
Ad's taking that to the grave.
I know.
He hates that we like the B's over the A.
AJ's gonna come in here. AJ's gonna come in here and be like, "Well, let's load manage Dak. Bring in Cooper Rush."
Fuck no! You run Dak until his fucking floppy feet fall off.
Or those big ass fucking hands.
He's got some monster feet and some monster hands.
Okay, AJ, what do you and your naked bottom half say about the 20 million? What are you gonna do?
Oh well, with the 20 million, I do agree. You got to sign the must signs. Diggs is a must sign, so make the room there. However, just in general, I wouldn't be against bringing in Cooks for 10 million, and sitting on the rest.
10 milli. Ooh.
Yeah. For a year, and we're gonna try to.
Man, I would tell Cooks, if he came in here, I'd say, look, we don't have any state income tax.
Yeah,
you're playing on a team that has Super Bowl potential. You got to take less, bruh.
Well, what's his? What I'd be interested. What's his current deal?
Let's take a look at that, because
but that's what they would take over if they traded for him. They would take over his current deal. So what's his current yearly deal?
Ooh. What would you guys be willing to give up in a trade for him?
5th round. It's the contract that they're getting.
They have it. I would be interested only in a Brandon Cooks type of a deal where they have to pay some of it and then we pay the rest.
Yeah, it's got to be nice.
So the cap is 14 million, and there's 3 more years left on it. So that's pretty.
What does he do next year?
It goes up to 15 and a half.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
that's
great. And you're still paying Zeke right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not nice.
But it'd have to be like Brent, like EJ said.
They got to cover some of it.
They'd have to eat some sort of financial.
Yeah.
Just give them 20 million 1 year.
Probably not at all. But 100% though, yeah, you got to find a way to get a long-term deal you can with Diggs and lock them up and just be happy with. It's probably going to be 20 million a year.
I'm just trying to find out how much money I have to slip Jerry Jones's doctor to tell him, like, hey man, you're about to pass. You got to go for it.
Go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go for it. Just go for it. Well, the thing with Jerry wants to go for it, but now he has Stephen Jones, who's kind of gained a little bit more power within the organization. He has him and Will McClay kind of keeping. They're kind of keeping Jerry at bay a little bit, right?
Hey,
when Steven takes over this team, I'm gonna I might cry.
Look, I don't want to bust a bubble.
Bust it.
Anyone's bubble.
Bust it.
I'm not a bubble buster. Okay?
Bubble bust me.
I promote bubbles. But let's think about this. When Jerry took over the Cowboys, he won the Super Bowl like 3 times in his first 4 years as being an owner, and then went on to build the most profitable sports franchise in history.
Guys, gentlemen, I'll correct him in a second here.
Go for it.
Jerry, so yes, you are correct. However, you look at the issue, and this is only because I read his book, but
I mean, without me finishing making my
Sorry.
point.
You're right.
You go ahead and
I was just gonna say Jerry Jones. I think the big contention point is that Jerry Jones allowed somebody who had very good knowledge and insight into it. He allowed them in, let them cook, and then saw what they were doing, and then said, "Oh, I don't need you. I could put any coach in this on this team."
Jerry Jones walked into a kitchen with a roast that was about to come out of the oven.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, sorry. So Jerry Jones. I mean,
And I'm a Jerry boy.
no, and listen, I like Jerry Jones. But Jerry Jones, he was right with Jimmy Johnson. Anybody with this team right now could win a Super Bowl, and then they won a Super Bowl, but there is that fall off. So you have the 2 Super Bowls that Jimmy Johnson won with the team team that Jimmy Johnson essentially established because Jerry Jones gave him like full access and he wasn't allowed to interrupt. But then when Jimmy Johnson and Jerry broke apart, Jerry basically took over and controlled everything with the team. So then you had those 2 years, possibly 3 years with that same squad. They win another
with Jimmy Johnson, they 4-peat. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So with Jimmy Johnson still as the head coach, they win the year that they lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship game, and they win the Super Bowl the following year. They 4-peat.
The problem with Jerry, and this is where I think you're going. Jerry Jones, and this is where EJ's scared about Stephen Jones, is Jerry Jones paired with the right person at the helm.
He was a great bit. He made the most amazing business decision.
Totally revolutionized, is one of the contributors to making the NFL one of the most profitable sports leagues, has the most profitable sports franchise, revolutionized that. Like, there's no question about the business side of that. And again, you pair him with like that really solid sports-minded person and allowing that sports person to say, give me full access here to do what we need to do. Jerry Jones will risk spending massive money on a 1-year contract on a player if it's going to win them something. There's too many other people that get him away.
Just get him a little bit more away from controlling decisions, which I guess is a huge assumption, but I think it's kind of shared, and allow the people that he's put in place and trusts or is paying fucking a lot of money for, allow them to actually fall on their own sword on their decisions.
It's sad because like you look at somebody like Jerry Jones, and he obviously ego gets in the way, and he wants to have everybody say Jerry Jones is the smartest person in football because of the team, right? And he thinks that at the time, with all the accolades that were going to Jimmy Johnson, he's like, well, I want, where's me? I'm the one who brought this team from being a failure to being the most profitable franchise. I want time in the limelight. Eventually, that probably would have flatlined, and he would have gotten sorry, not flatlined. Sorry. Eventually, he would have gotten his flowers, and people would have given him the type of respect, and he could have done all of the things that he did. But again, when you're looking at ego and money and teams and thinking you know what's right and knowing all the conversations you have, things like that can cloud him. I bet you anything I bet you he regrets it. I bet you he regrets the way he has, but he's too far into it to
it's like you keep telling yourself the same lie over and over, and it becomes truth. I think that one thing though is Jimmy Johnson.
I do it every day. I'm in
shape.
I'm in shape.
Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones were friends all the way dating back to like Arkansas.
Yep.
So I think that Jimmy had that comfortability to go up to Jerry and be like, yo, I need this player. I need the Deion Sanders. I need the Charles Haley's, whatever, bring these guys in and we can win. And for the longest time, it was yes men surrounding Jerry after the Jimmy Johnson era. And that's why we didn't win anything in the 2000s. And, now, and Jason Garrett is the exact example of a yes man. He would literally say whatever he wanted to on the, or not whatever he wanted to, but whatever he thought he should say, in press conferences and stuff like that. Now you got Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, who is not afraid to go say, hey, Quinn especially, we need these guys. We need these guys to make a push. Big Mike he probably was reluctant to say like, hey, I can do this offensive stuff. We don't need Kellen Moore. We don't need this guy. But they tried it out. He agreed to it. And now it's his time to fall on the sword, like you guys were saying earlier, and say, like, these are my marbles. This is what I'm going to put in. I believe in Dak. Yeah. I played with Aaron Rodgers. Or didn't play with him, but I coached Aaron Rodgers. I coached Brett Favre. I put this trust in Dak Prescott here that he's gonna carry us to the promised land.
Yeah.
I could just imagine seeing Mike McCarthy showing a tight end how to run a certain route and getting Aaron Rodgers to throw him a fucking fade or something.
The best thing that could happen when the Stephen Jones era happens, which is going to happen for us in the next decade, I imagine, is he gives Will McClay the GM position and says, go for it. That's the best.
Ooh,
that's the best thing that could happen.
That's
him
so true.
taking over as the GM is the worst thing that could happen.
And
I'll leave it at that.
He'll still have his little hot dog fingers in the mix. Hey, guys, I think we'll have to roll.
Hang on a second. How do you know that he has little hot dog fingers?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to investigate his fucking.
I'm already dancing to the outro.
Okay, I'm putting the outro in.
Okay,
Stephen Jones in his AI hands.
We'll roll the timeline or the roadmap to the Lombardi to Sunday service, baby.
Roadmap to the Lombardi. Here we go.
Am I doing the shout out?
Yes,
you do the shout out, AJ. Shout us out.
Shout us out.
For the bandwagon boys over here at the Millennium Falcon, for Anth Bess out in wherever the fuck he is, and our boy EJ Savage, aka at Boys in the Zone, rocking that Kansas City love. We are the Cowboys CanFan podcast. Check us out on Wednesdays and Sundays. We out.
We out, baby.
Peace.